So, at their last GTC conference, NVIDIA didn't just show off faster chips. No, they basically dropped a whole new playbook on us. It looks like they're shifting from just building the engine for AI to building the entire operating system for this next generation of artificial intelligence. Let's get into it. And really, it all kicks off with this huge statement from CEO Jensen Huang. He's framing this as something as fundamental as Windows or Mac OS, but for personal AI. The message here is crystal clear. AI is evolving. It's going from a tool that just answers our questions to an agent that actually acts on our behalf. And that's the big idea, right? We're shifting from a passive AI, think chatbots, to a truly active one. We're talking about autonomous AI agents that can use your software, browse the web for you, organize your files, and pull off complex tasks without you having to hold their hand. They're not just fetching information anymore, they're actually digital doers. But, and this is a big but, this incredible new power creates a massive new problem. I mean, think about it. If you give an AI agent access to your entire digital life, all your files, your passwords, your company's private network, what could possibly go wrong? The potential for disaster is just enormous. The security risks are on a whole other planet compared to a simple chatbot. And that right there, that brings us to the core of it, the trust dilemma. This is the central problem that NVIDIA is trying to solve. Before we can really let these powerful agents loose, we absolutely need a way to make them trustworthy. We need to build in guardrails that they just can't break. Right now, there's a huge security and privacy gap that someone has to fill. And look, these aren't some vague sci-fi risks we're talking about. The dangers are very real and very specific. We're talking about data leakage, where your sensitive info gets out into the wild, malicious code execution, an agent accidentally or, not so accidentally deleting critical files, and something called prompt injection, where a hacker can basically hijack the agent and make it do their bidding. These are the kinds of risks that are keeping big companies from going all in on agents. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, NVIDIA's answer is a new software stack, and it's designed to create a secure sandbox, basically a safe, isolated playground where these AI agents can do their work without ever being able to harm the computer they're running on. So this is the big picture. They're calling the whole thing NemoClaw, and it bundles everything you need. You've got the AI models, of course, but the real magic, the piece we need to focus on, is that red box in the middle, OpenShell. Think of that as the secure cage, the sandbox that provides the missing layer of safety so these agents can actually be useful without being dangerous. So, how does this sandbox actually work? Well, it's not just one big wall. It's got layers. It locks down the file system so the agent can't touch any file it's not supposed to. It controls all the network access, blocking any sketchy connections. It even blocks dangerous system commands at a really deep level. And get this, it even controls where the AI's thoughts, the inference calls, are allowed to go. The key idea here, the real genius of it, is what they call out-of-process enforcement. The best way to think about it is your web browser, right? When you go to a weird website, what stops it from stealing your files? It's not the website being polite, it's your operating system, enforcing rules from the outside. OpenShell does exactly the same thing for AI agents. The security isn't inside the agent where it can be tricked or bypassed. It's a cage built around it. Okay, so they've built a safe place for these agents to live. Problem solved, right? Well, not quite. Security is only half the equation. For these agents to actually be useful and not frustrating, they also have to think and respond incredibly fast. And that creates a whole different, massive challenge on the hardware side. So let's look at that piece of the puzzle. Here's where things get really clever. NVIDIA realized that an AI's thinking process isn't just one monolithic thing. They've split it into two different jobs. First, there's the pre-fill stage. That's like reading and understanding your entire question at once. It's heavy lifting, takes a lot of compute muscle. Then there's the decode stage. That's generating the answer, one word at a time. That job doesn't need muscle. It needs pure, unadulterated speed. And for that second job, that all-about-speed decode part, NVIDIA is rolling out a brand new type of processor, the Language Processing Unit, or LPU. This comes from their acquisition of Grok. Now, this chip is a specialist. It's not a generalist like a GPU. It's purpose-built for one thing and one thing only, spitting out that next word faster than you can even think, while the GPU handles the heavy lifting of understanding the prompt. And the result? It's just staggering. By combining their next-gen Rubin GPU with this specialized Grow LPX system, NVIDIA is claiming a performance boost of up to 35 times. Let me just say that again. Not 35%, 35 times faster. That's a monumental leap in speed, and it's all because they broke the problem down and built specialized hardware for each part. All right, let's zoom out and connect all the dots. What we're really seeing here is a full stack play. They've solved the trust problem with the open shell software, and they've solved the speed problem with the LPU hardware. This isn't about selling components anymore. It's about delivering a complete, integrated platform for anyone who wants to build and run AI agents. And if you look at their roadmap, this strategy becomes crystal clear. You can see the progression from Blackwell to Rubin and beyond. They are clearly moving away from just selling individual chips and are now co-designing and delivering entire systems, what they're calling AI factories. It's the whole shebang, from the silicon all the way up to the cloud. So, what does this mean for the business? Well, it's massive. This chart here shows the annual revenue they could make for every gigawatt of power used. With just the new Rubin platform, that number grows. But when you add the specialized LPX systems into the mix, boom, it creates a 10-fold increase in the potential revenue. They're fundamentally changing the value of their hardware. But this might be the single most important strategic move of all. OpenShell isn't just for NVIDIA's AI models, no. It's designed to run any agent. A model from OpenAI, from Anthropic, it can run inside NVIDIA's secure sandbox with zero code changes. They aren't just building the safety layer for their own team, they're positioning OpenShell to be the universal governance layer for the entire market. Which leaves us with this one final fascinating question. By providing a credible open-source solution to the agent security problem, NVIDIA is aiming to become the control plane for everyone. So if they succeed, are we witnessing the moment that the chaotic, anything-goes Wild West era of AI finally comes to an end?